Welcome back. Uh, E, we had to take a break. K. Diggy had a call from the President of the United States. Um, but yes, Till the War is Won. What are you, did we talk about this? Are you into this?
Yeah. So till the nah, you can. I wouldn't pay for that.
I'm with you.
Yeah,
I
I
give
wouldn't pay for that.
$0. I hate
I
Till
give
the
that.
War is Won. I hate the songs he makes that are like Till the War is Won. um, I find them annoying, and I have a completely different understanding of what Nas does well than Nas does.
Mm.
Me and him, we don't view him the same way. You know what I mean? Uh, like one of my favorite Nas songs or Nas appearances. Well, I'll give you two examples of this.
Okay.
This is a song on Jadakiss's first solo album.
Okay.
And it is like Jadakiss coming with hardcore imagery and Nas upping the ante on it, getting more vicious than Jada can imagine.
Mm.
And it's wonderful. The other one is on Street Disciple, Nazareth Savage, when he goes at 50 Cent. Nas in that venomous zone is very good stuff.
Absolutely.
But Nas in the What's Happened to Families, I don't want that in my life. All Bad featuring Anderson .Paak.
I mean, I love Anderson .Paak. And I thought, like, just on paper, I thought that this collab, I thought, okay, I was excited for the collaboration. But then when I heard it, it didn't do it for me. So I'd give it probably a quarter.
I'm with you. A quarter, exactly the same. The Definition featuring Brucey B.
I'd give this one a quarter too.
I upped it from the quarter status. I gave it 35 cents. It's weird. The hook is weird. I don't know. I don't know if it's supposed to be old school or not. It's odd.
Right.
It's an odd thing. Full Circle featuring The Firm. Very strange to rate this. I had a very hard time rating this song.
I'd give it. Now, I thought Car 85 was the best song on the album, and I gave that $1. I'm gonna give this one 75 cents. Because I thought it was good to hear Foxy Brown. It was good to hear AZ and the firm. So yeah, I'll give this one 75 cents.
I was really torn. Most of this album, I want to be clear here. Hit Boy is the MVP of this album. Hit Boy is amazing.
Right.
Do you agree or disagree?
No, I don't disagree with you. No, Hit Boy is amazing. Absolutely.
But Full Circle to me is maybe the most boring beat on that. It's very boring.
I mean, because it's pared down. Like when you listen to the production on the other tracks, it's a little bit more pared down, like a little bit more restrained.
And yes, it doesn't really shift. It doesn't really move. But the lyrical content is good, and I'm enjoying that. So I gave it 50 cents.
Okay.
10 points is an example of the two challenging each other in a way I really like. I gave that song $1.
Okay.
There's like beat switches in there in 10 points, and where Nas is kind of challenged and comes back and comes back in, and I think he he holds his own, and it's good. It's back on the bike. Uh, I really like it. So I was really happy to see him in that zone.
Yeah, I mean, I give that one 60 cents.
The Cure.
Mm. I give it 50 cents. 50 cent again.
I gave it 75. I really like the end of this album. I think it's strong.
How many times did you listen to it?
Oh God, so much. I'm such a nerd. It's just preparing for this discussion, and I just kept listening to it every friggin' day.
When did it now, if you had given would you say it had grown, like the album grew on you? Like if you had to give these, yeah.
I went from the same reaction you did from first to second, right?
Mm-hmm.
First listen, did not like it. Second listen, I was like, okay, I hear this.
Right.
I hear what's going on. I became more interested in the album. And from there, it was like re-listening to hear what parts of the album I liked and didn't like.
Mm-hmm.
And what, charting that in my head. So I'm going to tell you, your favorite song is Car 85. You're not alone. A lot of people like that.
Right.
My favorite song on this is track 13, Spicy.
Bonus track.
$1.50. $1.50. It's Nas sounds great on it. 5 Foreign fits, and I think that's great. And I'll tell you, it's one of those moments where A$AP Ferg sounds like a star. A$AP Ferg has these moments where he sounds like a star, like the man.
Right.
And then he makes bad decisions on other shit. And you're like, ugh. He's just one of those guys, man. I keep waiting for the classic album to come out. That'll be A$AP Ferg's classic album. And
no, I thought Spicy was 75 cents too. I thought Spicy was, I mean,
I loved it. I think it's great. I love hearing Nas with artists like this.
Mm-hmm.
I love hearing.
What do you mean like this? When you say hearing with artists like this,
other rappers that can push and challenge and who are hungry. I think it pulls something out in him. It always has.
Mm-hmm.
Always has. When he raps with the Firm, you can see he's kind of being like, it's good to have the gang together.
Right.
And he just kind of lays back, But with Spicy, he wants to step up.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It burns. And so I think that's the energy I'd like to see carry over.
Okay.
So my total is $7.50. That's my dollar total.
I didn't calculate mine, but it's we're probably in the same range.
Yes.
Maybe
so
maybe less for me.
It's teetering on the line. That means when I buy King's Disease, in the used section, I would. If it was in the used bin, right? I'd be like, yeah, man, Ryan, let's do that because it's got songs that would sound good in the car. It has highs and lows,
I would buy it, rip only a few songs off of it, and then see if I could return it and get some of my money back as well.
Or if you could just pull up, if you just had, you pulled up the album and you just bought 3 songs, you'd be fine,
Yeah. Okay.
3 or 5 songs, you'd be within that range. So, but $7.50 is on the verge, though, right? If him and Hit Boy make another album and it's much better, then you're into the good range.
And I mean, I think for me, sometimes like one song on the album is so good that you're willing to buy the album for that one song. I'd like to see if they could make, like, we'll go with Hit Boy. Like, if you listen to Watch the Throne, I mean, Watch the Throne is a good album, but Ninjas in Paris,
Yep.
I would buy, even if all of the other songs were garbage. I think I paid like $11 for that. I would pay $11 just for Ninjas in Paris.
It's a hell of a song.
And, yeah.
Hell of a song.
And I would like to see them go for something like that. I'd like to see them not be more ambitious, but I'd like to see them give their best effort.
Yep.
And be more ambitious effort wise.
And he's been away for a while, right? And hopefully this gets him back in the game. This gets him interested in doing it again.
Right.
And caring more about it. Yeah. I think there's definitely stuff he needs to stay away from.
Mm-hmm.
Topics he needs to stay away from. There's definitely he needs to dig deeper into himself,
Yep.
It's not good enough to just be like, Fox News sucks, or
right.
Hey, stop chasing away your wife. What are you even talking about? What does that even mean? You're not even going to expand on it? Like, whatever, dude.
I mean, it's like a shallow.
Right.
I mean, I don't think there's necessarily topics you should stay away from, but if you're going to talk about that topic, really sit with and go dive as deep into it as you can. Don't give like these shallow understandings of it.
I forget who we were talking about recently, but there was somebody who I said has brilliant hooks, really articulate hooks. Was it Kelly Chris? Must have been Kelly Chris.
Okay.
But hooks that were lyrical, intelligent, and really conducted the concept of the song, And maybe that's the improvement that I'd like to see in the next album, right? Better song concepts, better hooks.
Yes, definitely better hooks. Absolutely. And like you said, just more focus. I definitely want to see more focus. And like the production should fit more with whatever he's rapping about. There shouldn't be like such a big for me. There shouldn't be such a big dissonance between what he's rapping about and the tone of it and the production.
And I don't think that'll be as much of a problem because I will say, I think, a lot of what you're talking about with it not fitting.
Okay.
This is their first album together.
Right. That's true.
Next time, he will fit the album more.
Yeah. Okay.
So
I'd agree with that.
when a new person shows up and I have to train them and they go, I don't know these systems. I'm like, yeah, man, nobody that's new knows these systems. You're new. When you're new, you're new.
Right.
Don't worry about the system because you're going to work here. You're going to work here and you're going to know the system. It's going to be there for you every day. Getting good at the rest of it, right? Having a way of working and having a way of engaging. That's what you're going to have to get. And that's what he has to work on, right? The beats, he'll know how to rap over Hit Boy production much better next time, if it's the next time, right?
Right.
But I
think
a good
point.
It's a matter of what you're talking about. Like, you need to have a better concept than gout.
Yeah.
It's weird, man.
And I still don't even know I don't even know like what the King's disease like You know what I mean? And that's the thing. That's another thing about album titles. Like, if you're gonna name your album title "King's Disease," every song I hear, I'm gonna be thinking about it under the context of King's Disease. You know what I mean? Like, and I just didn't feel like he painted a strong enough picture of the album title. So I just didn't. I was confused about what he was actually trying to say.
And there was a lot of stuff where I was like, what you're saying isn't that important.
Yeah.
And that, I don't ever want to feel like that about Nas, you know?
Right.
So it's just a matter of him getting back to what he wants to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes Nas, if he has a great song, the album kind of organizes itself around the song.
Okay.
I guess I was thinking one of my favorite albums that he did was Godson.
Okay.
You know, I love the Made You Look kind of the album builds around that. You know what I mean?
I'll have to go back and listen to that one. But
then there's the Dancing with His Dead grandmother song, and like it all kind of builds itself as a different sound from Made You Look, or a beautiful attachment to Made You Look.
I see.
Sometimes the album grows from the best song on the album.
That's a good right. And I know because Kanye mentioned that a lot when he was doing his like great albums. He would talk about the concept of that one song that the album needs to, really unify it.
So yeah, let's look at the first 3 songs on Godson. Get Down.
Okay.
Great song. The Cross, Made You Look, Last Real Edward Alive. And then, later on we get I Can, we get Book of Rhymes, Mastermind.
Because I loved I Can. That was.
I certainly love Book of Rhymes is one of my favorites.
Ooh.
And I Can into Book of Rhymes is incredible.
Okay, so yeah, I need to go back to that album then.
Because I Can is very uplifting and it's very good. Book of Rhymes is him. You can literally hear him flip the pages of his rhyme book. And he's reading you verses, and then he's like cuts off and goes, that part's stupid. And then just flips through to the next page. Flips pages forward. And it's him, and it's produced by Alchemist. And it's him living in that kind of like perfectionism.
Right. Oh, Alchemist was on that one? Wow.
Alchemist produced that, yeah.
Gosh, man.
Yeah, and Mastermind, one of my favorite Nas songs also. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I hate to say, if Alchemist got his hand, like if Alchemist did an album with Nas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I feel like that, that's the type of energy Nas needs. Because I think Nas looks to the producers he's one of those artists that looks to their producers for reaffirmation about what direction to go. You know what I mean? And
and I'll tell you, he rises to the occasion of his producers, as you said. He also rises to the occasion of his guest stars.
Mm-hmm.
He does an album with Alchemist. Alchemist might bring Boldy.
Oh.
You know how Boldy got on?
How?
Oh, did you hear that podcast yet? That Dad Bod Rap Pod with Sterling Tolles?
No.
Oh my God. I'll spoil the story. I can't not do this. Boldy was in the studio, was just like in the crew of this guy who was a rapper. And The guy who was the rapper was supposed to do the session, but was being distracted by a lady friend and wasn't doing the work. He's playing the beat. The guy's not taking it in. Boldy is sitting there, and he starts hearing him mumbling to himself. And the producer, it's frustrated. He's like, "You got something for this?" He's like, "Yeah." Goes in the booth, smashes it first take. First take done.
Whew.
17 years old.
Wow.
Yeah. And so that is the kind of guy, like, he goes in first verse, you're going to get a good Nas verse after that. You are definitely going to get, he's going to step up. He's not going to let that slide.
Yeah.
But you're right. If he announced, I've got an Alchemist album coming out, I'd be much more excited than a Dre album. Much more.
Yeah.
But, there's the question of, like, can Nas do an Alchemist album? Because he's a pop figure and there's money involved and, he has to have big hits. That's why he got Hit Boy.
I mean, there's no big hits on, what's the last big hit album? What's the last big hit Nas has had?
Yeah, I mean, the argument's weird because Hit Boy's Nas is not gonna be number one on the charts this week. It's gonna be Burna Boy.
What?
Right? Burna Boy's gonna be number one. It's this doesn't really feel Smash album-y.
No.
But it also, Nas is filthy rich. He's a filthy rich tech giant. Can't he afford to just make an album he likes that we'll like with somebody he does good work with? Like, I don't know. Call me crazy. Sometimes the indie movie gets you the Oscar, man.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
Maybe this was ambitious for him. Maybe he was just trying to see, like, let me see what I can do over him. I mean, we'll see. I mean, as I said, he is working on a quote unquote secret project, so we'll see what the direction of that one is.
By the way, what did you think of Paraffin? I didn't get a closure on that. What did you think of that?
I mean, it was a lot. It was intense, but
yeah,
as albums from those two guys usually are.
Yeah.
But I mean, Billy Wood, as you know, he has like these lines. Really, there are multiple lines that just really stuck out with me. You know what I mean? Like, you'll listen to a song and you'll be like just going along with it, and then he'll give you a line. It's like it'll be like a jab that really like piques your attention. You know what I mean? And I think Billy Woods is great at that.
Make you put your cup down.
Yeah. Put your cup down moment.
Put your cup down. So the recommendation corner, I got to give a shout out, man. This dude Alaska from Hangar 18, he was on Def Jux. He's basically like semi-retired. He does stuff, and he's got a new album coming out with Zilla Rocca, but he's fine with where he is and just hanging out with his friends and podcasting and doing dope verses when he needs to.
Mm-hmm.
But what he offers, he basically says, if you pre-order my friend's album, I will send you a download code to all my past work.
Wow.
I took him up on this. I was debating pre-ordering it anyway because the album looks good. I'm gonna shout out that album. Comes out in September, I believe. Midnight Express.
Wow.
By Griffin Scorsese. But I pre-ordered it. He shot me his stuff, and wow, man, this is called This is Hangar 18. The multi-platinum debut album is what it's called.
Oh.
And it's killer. Killer production. Very in the mode of LP and like that vibe. Those guys wanted to make old school hip hop in a new school way.
Mm-hmm.
With interesting production, big drums, pace, but intelligence. And at the time, I didn't like Def Jux, didn't understand what the heck they were doing. I thought they were just being noisy, to be honest. But older and wiser. And a lot of that stuff from that time period, 2001, it just doesn't stand up. It's kind of corny. And this shit sounds good.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's from 2001. The multi-platinum debut album is what it's called. And it's by Hangar 18, Hangar.
Okay.
It's good shit. It's good shit. He's a good dude. He throws out this offer whenever we're talking about anybody in the Cruise album on Twitter.
It's good fun.
It's a good dude. And he's a great follow. Great follow as well. Alaska_Adams. ATOMS. What else? Oh, there's a comedy called Greed.
Greed.
Steve Coogan, Isla Fisher. It's on Stars. If you get Stars, I'm sure you have Stars.
Yeah.
It's good. It's a real. It's fun. It's one of those dark comedies. It's a funny breakdown of the kind of evil billionaire cat that we see prevalent nowadays.
Okay.
It goes deep on it, and the race to the bottom and the sweatshops and all that.
Okay.
It's good. It's good. A good movie. Yeah. So check that out. Do you have anything to shout out? Anything for the people? No.
No, man.
All right. The I guess parting message from K Diggy: follow Terry Crews on Twitter. Follow him on Twitter. Boy, is he working. Is he working? He's working on Twitter. Jeez. Twitter Victim of the Year, Terry Crews. Stay safe, Terry Crews.